pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have two new student ambassadors with us today. We want to welcome you. And if you don't mind, just tell us your name, because sometimes your name may get mispronounced, and I don't want to do that.
Okay, I'm Kira McIntyre.
And I'm Bella Van Zandbergen.
Okay, and what grades are you in at the high school?
We're both juniors.
Juniors? Okay, so you've got one more year.
Yeah,
Senior year is a great year. So welcome to our board meeting.
thank you.
Okay. Then we're to have a recognition tonight, and the first recognition is Woodman Life with Tim Bubelow.
This is Mr. Tim Bubelow. He is originally from White County, from SPARTA. But he's part of Woodman Life, and they have been been a great partner. We passed a flag policy back in the early part of the school year, and they have assisted our school system with 4 brand new flag poles at 4 of our elementary schools, and flags for each classroom. So we'll have a nice American flag in each one of our classrooms, and we appreciate the partnership and your support. It's a value of over $10,000.
Wow. Every classroom.
Yes, so we appreciate your partnership and what you stand for, and thanks for making our world a better place up here.
It's a blessing to do it, You know, I'm fortunate to work for a company that still believes in patriotism, believes in supporting our school systems, our local communities, our local families, and that's what we are. If it's all right, just take just a minute to tell a little bit about the company. We began in 1890 as a company to support our counties, our families, our communities. So we are a company that tries to give back. We're actually a not-for-profit insurance company, if you've ever heard of that. There's not too many of us out there, but we are not-for-profit. And so one of the things we do is support our local schools. We probably have been providing most of your school's flags, your outside flags, for several years. I know I've replaced many of them out on a lot of the schools. So that's one of the things we do. We're behind the scenes because we're not for profit. You don't see the billboards, you don't see the offices. We're word of mouth. We're here as family to family, reaching other families and trying to support where you live, and that's what we're here for. If you want more information about our company, what we do, the products we offer, I'd be glad to offer that with you. I do have some brochures as I go out. If anybody would like one, just wave at me. I'll get you those. It does have my contact information on the back, my phone number, email, those kind of things. But it's such a blessing to be able to support their schools. My dad was a many-year school board member. The only arguments we ever got into much was because I became a county commissioner. And as budget time rolled around, you can imagine some of the conversations we had. So that was the conflict that we had at my house, and even after I was married. But appreciate what your school board does, your director of schools. It's a tremendous burden and a tremendous time that we need stand-up people that are willing to stand up for patriotism, stand up for our families and communities. And I appreciate y'all being here to, just to be involved. It's such a blessing to see that. I've been in county court meetings with nobody there, so this is a blessing. And appreciate y'all's interest, appreciate your service, all of your service, and if we can ever do anything for Woodman, we're glad to do that.
Miss Stacy Booth has had her hand in on
Yes.
this, and she's one of our employees. She does a great job.
Yes, just to show you, how we are behind the scenes. Stacy's family was long-term history with Woodman, longer than me. Her grandfather was the local chapter president. Her grandmother became the president. Stacy's mother was president. Stacy's been president and served every office in the local chapter. So again, there's things that we do that you don't see. We feed the hungry. We try to be involved in those kind of things. So we're always looking for a few good members. So if you would like more information, again, please let me know. But appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thanks for letting me ramble a little bit, and I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you.
I apologize. I have another meeting in McMinnville at 6, so I'm going to slip on out. Thank you.
Thank
Tip
you.
Crispy said hello.
I will do. Thank you.
Okay, our next recognition is scope participants. Let's see, we've got, I'm going to read them as they come up. We've got Carly Freeman, Lucas Turner, Bella Van Zanbergen, and Isabella Sainer. Okay.
So I'm going to just go over kind of how our day started and went about. So we attended the Tennessee School Boards Association Student Congress and Policies in Education, or SCOPE conference for short, at Belmont on Tuesday, March 3rd. SCOPE was established in 1982 to obtain students' views on public education issues and to seek their solutions. So the way our day started out is we got up pretty early, drove to Nashville, beat the traffic, and we got to Belmont. They provided us with a very nice breakfast, so we got to eat breakfast. And then we went to their theater, and they broke us up into small groups for our debates. And she'll go into small groups.
Okay, so we did a mock trial in our small groups, and the topic was reallocation of money from related arts like music and art to CTE and school boards like budget. So what we did was we appointed school board members based on a vote, and then everyone else was an audience, and we got to go up and debate against like the points from the school board. And so we were all working together to have a mock trial.
And then all of that led up to the main debate. We were assigned one, and we all met back into the theater, and one of the members from each of the small groups was elected to debate in the assigned topic. Each topic had 2 pro debaters and 2 con debaters, and all the conference attendees were able to vote for a winner. And so if you weren't the debater, we were all in the theater, and we were able to scan a code and type in which one we wanted to vote for. And so the first topic was the world language graduation requirement shall be an elective. And for pro, there was 25%, and con was 75%. And so they determined that it would not be required as an elective. Then the second one was ACT shall be submitted for end of course examination. And for that one, there was a 44% pro and a 56% con. And so we decided that ACT shall not be substituted as an end of course examination. And then the third one we did was students shall have the option of substituting club sports like kickball, club soccer, water polo, etc. for physical education requirements at school, like outside sports, not ones that we do at school. And for that one, we had a 63% pro and a 37% con. And so we decided that that should be a substitution. And then the fourth one we did, which was the final one, it was all students shall be required to participate in at least one extracurricular activity, such as 4-H, chess club, sports, beta club, etc. per year. And for that one, there was a 37% pro and a 63% con. And my group was the one about sports, and so that whole time we spent time giving brainstorming and thinking about what a rebuttal might be, and then we joined with a second group that was doing the same topic. And so there was one person from our group and one person from that group that was the pro, and they went and debated. So it was really interesting, yeah.
Very interesting. What an experience. Do any of y'all want to ask him any questions or anything?
I want to tell the 3 of you that you seem wise beyond your years, and you were really, really great at talking to us. You weren't nervous or anything, and you explained it really well, so thank you for that.
Yes, very good.
You're not as nervous as I am.
And Carly, Victorian, do you know
No,
that?
I did not know that.
She is. And the one-
Like, they were just casual, like, they weren't standing there.
They've done it before, you can tell.
She's at tennis.
No.
Yeah, let's
Wherever you want to. Thank you. Appreciate your reference.
Thank you all very much. We look forward to seeing you as leaders after you graduate from high school and college,
And you will be, no doubt.
or CTE. Okay, the next recognition is a big recognition for our district. It's school level and district level teachers of the year. And I guess, Mr. Hargrove, you're going to do that?
Our elementary supervisor, Miss
Okay.
Jonah
Ms.
Sizemore.
Jonah Sizemore.
I sure will.
I'll say the names. They should be in order.
Okay, we'll start with elementary at Deerfield. Pre-K 4 was Courtney Stevens. And 5-8 was Nikki Anderson. For East Coffee, Pre-K 4 was Tim Eaton. And 5-8 was Christy Ledsinger. For Hickerson Elementary, we had Pre-K 4 Shannon Dawson. And 5-8 was Michael Avey. And then Michael's not here. Okay. Hillsborough Elementary, Pre-K 4 was Tiffany Newman. And 5-8 was Cassie Harrell. For New Union, Pre-K 4 was Brooke McNeese. And 5-8 was Liz Eaton. For North Coffee, Pre-K 4 was Tiara Miller. And 5-8 was Carmen Kittinger. For our secondary schools, for the middle school, 6th grade was Rebecca Schoen. 7th grade was Corey Simmons. And 8th grade was Rebecca Weitzel. From Coffee County Raider Academy had Amy Keel. From COS, Greg Gann. And then representing the high school, Toby Alonzo. Dina Croslin. Rebecca Koger. And Christy Stewart. Let's get a whole group picture of them. If you guys will kind of make 2 rows. You want to do that? Yes. Short people in the front.
And there's Carmen.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you guys so much. We would also like to recognize our district level teachers of the year. The district level people are chosen by submitting an application after they're selected from their school. So it's very exciting to recognize these 3 teachers as our district level teachers of the year. For Pre-K 4, Tiara Miller. Mm-hmm. 5-8, Rebecca then 912, Christy Stewart. And then we'll get another picture with you. Let's get all three together.
Scott, get in the middle. Tim and Lindsay.
Okay, so now it's a call to order for our regular Coffee County School Board meeting. And we will approve the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as is? And the consent items will be a part of that. Okay, Mr. Hansard made the motion.
I'd like to make a motion, though.
Okay,
Do I
let's
add
get
it
it,
to-
on second. We'll get it second first,
Okay,
and then we'll discuss.
okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, all right. Ms. Yance?
I'd like to ask that we take item 11, the budget update, and move it up to item 2.
Okay. All right, so the request has been made to move budget update 11 up to item 2, and that will accommodate Ms. Melson. She's going to be on a Zoom meeting, and that way she can have the budget already taken care of in one session. And so I guess I need to ask Mr. Hansard if that's okay to add that.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you want to,
So moved.
and do you second?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's, Mr. Hansard made the motion and Mr. Cordell seconded. Okay, so the agenda is approved as is, along with the consent items. Okay, the next,
Ms. Jones, you need to have a vote.
oh, sorry, of course. Okay, all right, we'll start with Mr. Gilly.
Aye.
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 Chair votes aye, so that's unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Shores. Okay, the next item on the agenda is public comment, and we did have someone to sign up that wants to make a comment to the board, and that's Brandon Reed. So at this time, Mr. Reed, you can come up and speak to the board, and
You want me to come up? I've got a pretty big mouth, but it's
well,
whatever you want me to do.
it's because of the
Okay,
video.
good deal.
Uh-huh. And you'll have 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Brandon, thank you for your service to this county.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hey, first thing I want to say is thank you guys for the ones that responded to my email that I sent out. I appreciate that. I recognize that. Second thing I want to do is, again, I want to own up to what I messed up on. Director Hargrove did email me back, and during this whole process, I didn't think he did. I saw his name, and I immediately saw Scott H.A. and thought Hansard. And I think you called me directly after, so I apologize for that.
No worries.
Second thing, I don't know that I need to go through the whole spiel again, but if I do, I will. So quick rundown, March 11th, my son was, and another student, well, 3 students were stopped during the health science class outside of the gym, pulled out by Kyle Harris. Kyle was under the assumption that my son, along with these other kids, were skipping class. Jumped to conclusion, my son and the other student lost their privilege to play in sporting events that night. One with baseball, one with my son with golf. Just so y'all know, my son Kyrie is sitting right there. My wife couldn't be here because she's on a booster club meeting right now for the dance team at the high school, or she would be here. Long story short, Mr. Harris called me on the phone and led us to believe that our son's were skipping class and had lied. Okay? Right off the rip, my son was in trouble. I want y'all to know that I'm not here to protect my son when it comes to him getting in trouble, because that's not why I'm here. If my son does wrong, he knows it's going to be worse at home than it is at school. Okay? But I'm also here because I want my son to know that I'm going to stand up for him whenever he's in the right. My son got in trouble that day. He should have never got in trouble, because after doing some investigative work, I come to learn that my son did nothing wrong. And now Kyle Harris, 8 days after the event, admits he messed up. Dances on the line of whether or not he lied or not, and I'm okay with that. I'm done with that. But it's took 10 days and both parents going to the school to get a teacher to own up that they screwed up. Shouldn't be like that. Why can we not, as adults, own up like I did at the beginning of this meeting and say, hey, I screwed up? That would have been the end of it. Day one, that would have been the end of it for me. I wouldn't have dug into this. Hey, I got other things to be doing right now. But I felt like my son was telling the truth this time, and thank God I did. Okay? Now, how do we fix this in the future? How do we fix this for the kids that don't have the support system that young man right there does and the other young man does? I think that's y'all's job. Right? We got to figure that out. I'm done, and it's done and over with me. Okay? I'm done with it. But to continue pushing this off like nothing ever happened is not okay. The school has to, at some point, own up without the parent doing what I'm doing. Without going around and recording people to the point to where you got to catch them in a lie. There's no reason for that. I've said it numerous times. If I get caught in a lie in this county, I'm over with. I'm done. But one thing in my house we don't do is we don't lie. And that was my biggest concern. And when you call my son a liar, and then I catch you in a lie, and we keep going around dancing back and forth on what really happened, I have a problem. I know my 5 minutes is coming up. The last thing I want to say is, guys, retaliation is real. It's a real thing. My son got retaliated on because of another student's parents. For whatever that reason is, and if you didn't read my email, the statement was, sorry, lost my train of thought there. I don't care who your parents are. That was the other big thing. Guys, my son got retaliated on. Don't let it happen again. That's it. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all reaching out to me, okay? Thank you.
Brandon, can I say, I just want to say thank you for coming, having the courage to stand in front of us and defend your son. He is, from what I know, an outstanding student. I've seen him working very
A's and
hard
B's.
at the
Never
golf
gets in trouble.
course, and yes, and I think the other student is also. And I think we as adults have to get, I'm including myself in this, more comfortable with being able to say, oops, I messed up. I need to own it and learn from it. And I'm glad you did get that apology in your second guidance. I think that speaks volumes. I'm sorry it took a while, but I think we all can learn from it. So I really appreciate you guys coming and being here tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you
Thank
coming
you,
up here
Brandon.
again.
Thank you.
Mr. Reed, it's good to know that children have advocates with their parents, and like you said, there's a lot of children that do not have that, and we appreciate your input.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think everything was settled to your satisfaction.
Let's fix the problem.
We
Right?
hear
The
you.
problem has not been fixed.
Okay, and
Because there's been apologies and there's, the problem, everybody sees the problem now. But we gotta fix the problem. We gotta figure out how to stop that in the future, right? There's
Yeah.
no reason that I should have to go around doing this. Like, let's fix it.
right, and I'm sure everybody in this room heard what you said, and we'll take it to heart.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your dad loves you so much.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the principal report. And who wants to be first? Okay.
Yeah, I just moved it for the third time. It's okay. You can move it. Wherever you want to, Miss Bobby.
In case anybody doesn't know who this is Miss Bobby Gilly, the principal at New Union Elementary.
Yes, ma'am.
No relation.
No relation. Absolutely zero. Name and
Bobby,
call.
thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I want to start out just talking about TCAP. TCAP started today. Testing at New Union. Our theme this year is Under the Big Top. And we've just been trying to get our kids pumped up, get them excited about this test, to do their best on the test, to come to school on time, you know, with a good night's rest, no absences, eat a good breakfast before they get there, and let's, you know, do our best on this TCAP and knock it out of the park. We have prizes that we've set up. Students can earn tickets. Those kids that are working the hardest can earn tickets, and they can earn prizes during the week. We'll draw for those as the 2 weeks go on. We also have treats for our teachers because they've put in time as well. So we have treats for our teachers after each test. And it's just a hard time for all of us. I think all of us in this room can say TCAP brings a whole different kind of stress to our job, but we're handling it the best we can. Next step for us is on the 24th. As a reward for our candy bar sales, we're going to get to have an ice cream assembly, and what that means is I get to be made into an ice cream sundae, and I want to publicly apologize to Adam Clark right now because I have done this to him for years. Probably even worse than ice cream sundae. I think there's been a lot worse, but I'm sorry because now I get to do it. So that's going to be on the 24th. Also on the 25th, we are having our Rebel Rumble car show. This is something that our PTO is doing and presenting. It's going to be here at the Administrative Plaza. From what I understand, they have over 700 interests already for this car show. I've never done a car show, but I'm excited to figure out what it's all about and how well we do. That's from 10 to 2 on the 25th. On the 27th, we'll have our top 10% banquet at Lane's Reunion. If you've not tried Lane's Reunion yet, you need to go. I tried it this past weekend. They gave us an extra special deal. Our PTO will be paying for our students, our staff, and our parents because they had such a deal for us for this buffet-style meal there. We couldn't refuse it. So that's where our top 10% banquet will be. On the 28th, we will be celebrating our school bus drivers on School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. We've got some special things in store for them. On the 30th, we will also be having Dusty Elam Assembly. We'll be presenting them with a check for our service learning project, where we've got some donations through raising money for T-shirts and that sort of thing. And I think we have the entire Dusty Elam board going to join us that day. And then May 1st, of course, is Field Day, a day full of fun for our kids. May 4th through the 8th will be our Teacher Appreciation Week. It is my personal goal to make sure I have lunch provided for every teacher every day and staff member, because everybody in our building are teachers, so even our parapros, our lunch ladies, our custodians, they will all be included that week. And then May 5th, we will have our AR reward trip to the rec center. This is the first year New Union's had accelerated reader in many years. So we've got several students going to attend that trip with a day of swimming. And then May 14th, we're gearing up for Lemonade Day. Those of you that know me know that I'm a little competitive when it comes to Lemonade Day. New Union will be at Al White, McKay's Wealth Advisory, Logan's, Dot Foods, and of course at the school. I'm about to have to leave in a little bit. I'm going to hang out with you guys for a little while, but my daughter plays on the flag football team. She's number 7. They've got a game at home tonight. If you've not come to a game, come out and watch these girls. It is amazing to watch these girls out there playing football. Mine's a safety, and I have figured out everything about what a safety does. So, great game last week. I hope a great game this week. We had 2 wins last week. Hopefully we'll get a win tonight, and then we travel to White County tomorrow. So, try to come out and watch those girls if you can. Do any of you have any questions for me?
Is flag football everything you expected?
No, actually it's not. I mean, it's very competitive. It's very interesting. I mean, it's just, it's I'm learning. The rules aren't the same as football. I know a little bit about football, but the rules are a little bit different. But yeah, it's interesting. And they've got to be quick. I mean, it's fun to watch.
Yeah. You won't have no problem going to being a team next year instead of just a club, right?
Right. I hope so. I hope that happens for these girls especially. Yeah.
Right, that it happened.
Yes. Anything else? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Eric Keith, principal at East Coffee for YouTube people. All right, she said everything I could say about TCAP. It's a busy couple of weeks, but our kids are rocking and rolling on the first day. And I do want to give it a shout out to Dr. Blessing. We got our materials, I think, from the vendor a little later than normal, just based on where spring break was. And so we got those last week. They were organized, ready to go. And as soon as we realized we didn't have something, call them up, and we had it in a couple of days, so or within the day. So thank you, Dr. Blessing. And we're striving for 95% positive attendance through the month of April. So we've been doing some attendance challenges the last couple of months. We finished up March Madness attendance, so congratulations to Miss Rosser's homeroom. They had the highest. They won the tournament, and so it was tough go in March. We started doing attendance challenges in February, which was kind of a bad month because that was when we closed for sickness. But still, everybody likes a good competition. Last week we got to do some really. We pretty much did a walkthrough, a little 15-minute walkthrough through every classroom. Math and ELA, Miss Sizemore, our elementary supervisor, walked along with us as well as our academic coaches, and so it was really cool to see and compare some data from when we took it at the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, and now close to the end of the year, and see some of the growth that we've seen. And so we're able to reflect on how the year has been, but also move forward with what things we want to do next year. Last week, we got a visit from a Zoodles animal program. Didn't know what I was signing up for, but we had a big snake. That wasn't fun. But we also had baby kangaroos. And so they were just hopping around the gym. It was cool. Dr. Banks, our PE teacher, she tried to steal one of them. But she was cuddling that thing for the whole assembly. And so... but it was a neat experience. Students were able to get a snapshot with the animals. It's a nonprofit, but the way they keep going, they charge for animal experiences where they get a photo. And I had one student tell us, I thought about getting a picture with the snake or the bird, but you can go to any pet store and see those. It's not every day you see a baby kangaroo, so he chose to get a picture with the baby kangaroo. So it was a lot of fun, great experience for our kids at East Coffee. I think that's all I got. Any questions? Great.
Thank you, Mr. Keith. And this is Leah Parsley, Deerfield.
Welcome. Good evening. So at Deerfield, we had our Easter lunch for our 2nd and 4th grade families. We welcomed them in, and we had a big crowd. We are preparing for Lemonade Day. We drew Chick-fil-A and Steve Jernigan Realty. And of course at the school, we'd like to thank Chick-fil-A and Steve Jernigan Realty for sponsoring us. The Nashville Opera came. This year they presented Little Red Riding Hood. We had Math Night with Janice Talley, and that was sponsored by, she wrote a grant and won the grant by the Sportsmen and Businessmen charitable organizations. We'd like to thank them for that grant. And I believe we shared it with some other schools too, but we were blessed to be a part of that. We had our spring concert. That was our Related Arts team directed that and created it. Miss Mary McCartney, Nikki Anderson, Carol Ann Dameron, and Amber Serio. They did a fantastic job. The art, it's really coming together since we've got our art teacher. They had the stage decorated. It's getting bigger and bigger each year, so we really appreciate the art teachers to create a good related arts team. We're having our academic pep rally. We had our academic pep rally, and I gotta say, all of our students, at the end of it, is for the second time in a row that I gave them, the whole student body, an ice cream party afterwards, because their behavior was so respectful, and they were so polite for their, just sitting there for a while, but for their peers to receive their awards, they were so respectful and kind. And also, when the second grade went to the zoo, and once again, we got a report on how well the students behaved. So I'm very proud of our students and their behavior. And we are also starting state testing. And we have a treat train to go around, kind of like New Union. And for students who meet certain expectations of effort, they get to visit the treat train. We also let the K2 visit for supporting their peers and being quiet in the hallways and being studious in the classroom as well. So we had a lot of students visiting the treat train today. So, any questions? All right, that's Deerfield.
Thank you, Ms. Lee.
Good evening, everyone. How are y'all doing? So, just like Bobby and everybody else has said, TCAP obviously started up today, so we started our writing portion. And see, we did do something very similar to what they're doing as far as our kids earn tickets. And so it's all based off of effort. So during the test, if they're caught, showing great effort, using test-taking strategies like we've taught them, they can earn tickets. They redeem those for a prize each day, and they also can put their name into a drawing for larger prizes. So the kids look forward to that every year. We've done this for a few years now, and they love that, and this gets them pumped about taking the test. Because ultimately, we know they've been taught everything they need to know, but we just need them to show it on the test. The next couple months, obviously, or month and a half rather, is going to be a downhill sprint to the end of the year. As you guys know, I have a lot of field trips coming up. I won't give you all those dates, but I'll just give you a few highlights. Our fifth grade on May 1st is going to be going to Lake Winnie. That's our big fifth grade field trip every year. And so our PTO is gracious, along with Lemonade Day, to take care of that for our kids. So that's always a wonderful thing. So on the 5th of May, we're doing our senior walk. I think all elementary schools are doing that same day. So all the seniors will be going back to their elementary school, so that's always an exciting day. And then our fifth grade will be participating in a field day at the Raider Academy on May 6th. And again, that's a county-wide initiative that started, I guess it's been 2 years now that we've had it. Tanya Garner started that, and that's been a great event for our fifth graders to get together, have a little competition, friendly competition between schools. As Bobby said, we are all very competitive and want our school to win, so that's always a fun time. And then May 8th, we're doing an AR trip to the rec center. Again, we've done that for many, many years now, but any student that gets 50 AR points in the second semester or 100 for the whole year, they get to go to the rec center and swim. That's always a big deal. We want to incentivize our kids to read. And then, just like they said, Lemonade Day coming up May 14th. We are at First Bank, Old National, and then we're at the shop as well. So we have several great booths there. And then kind of our last hoorah, May 15th is our field day and picnic on the playground. So we'll have families out for a picnic. And then also we have our pre-K, kindergarten, and fifth grade graduations on May 20th. So a lot of things going on, very busy time of the year. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Any questions?
I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Clark.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Okay, this is Dr. Jimmy Anderson with Coffee County Middle School.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate Dr. Clark going ahead of me because the microphone's in the right place. So usually I have to adjust it because I'm actually Miss Parsley. So several things happening at the middle school. As you all know, this, like everyone has said, there's tons of things going on. Tonight is our band concert for the spring semester. Tomorrow night is choir concert. We have TCAP starting tomorrow, running through end of next week. And of course that includes our makeup days and those kinds of things. And so lots of testing happening next couple weeks. I heard a couple of elementary principals mention a ticket system or something like that for their kiddos, trying to do an incentive. We also do that at the middle school. Ours is a little bit structured differently, but we will host, I think this is our 3rd year of doing the Raider Olympics. And we do that as a house competition. And it is tied to student participation with the test. And so students will be able to participate in those events. We have a scavenger hunt across the building. We've got a new game that's called Candyland. There's going to be a kickball game. So there's all kinds of stuff going on that the students will be able to participate by house, and that's their last house competition for the year. And that'll happen the week after TCAP is over. So that's the push for that. In the world of sports, track, tennis, softball, baseball, and boys soccer all have home events this week. So there's lots of opportunities if you want to participate in that or come watch those kiddos play. Just an up and coming kind of announcement, 6th grade basketball. We have had some inquiry about that from other districts. Looks like we're going to be able to bring that back next year. So we honestly had to stop because the interest was not there. But it looks like that is something that's coming back this next school year. So that's exciting. That's a good opportunity for our kiddos, and certainly appreciate the support there from the community with that. One last thing I'm going to say is Mr. Reed gave a speech this afternoon about what took place. I am here for the meeting. After the meeting, if you have questions for me, by all means, I'll be glad to answer those questions, okay? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Amy.
That is good to hear about the 6th grade basketball, and I think a lot of the AAU teams are probably responsible for more children being interested in that in 6th grade. Okay, we've got our,
Give them an opportunity to
Right.
be little a little bit longer, I think.
All right, good evening. So I noticed that Mr. Anderson had a notebook when he came up here, and I was a little bit worried about how long he might go. I do have my paper here, and of course, we have the ambassadors to share lots of things as well. But I want you all to be aware, and you may have seen something out on social media or something. We hosted a career expo for our junior and senior students last Friday. And there were somewhere in the vicinity of 20-ish career fields that were represented. For instance, we had Miss Krista Cole and Miss Stephanie Langham present at a booth representing our school system. And students, junior and senior level, were able, we had about 45 minutes each for each grade level to go in to the Career Expo. And there was opportunity for students to ask all sorts of questions about those career fields. And also opportunity for the representatives in those career fields to ask students some questions, really to probe them so that they might think about what careers might be best for them. We felt like that was a successful endeavor, and we've done that for a little while now. A good event for us. Also, I want you to be aware that we've had several state conferences here lately for our career and technical support organizations. For instance, and things that we're really proud of, our FBLA had the State Leadership Conference last week. That was through the early part of the week, and that was in Chattanooga, and they came back and they were named State FBLA Chapter of the Year.
Wow.
So we're just very proud of that because, again, that's representative of the whole FBLA for Coffee County Central High School. We had lots of first place winners, second place winners, third place winners. And so we're, over the course of the last few days, with our announcement slides that we do at school and things like that, we're trying to recognize those students for their accomplishments at that conference. Also, it's been nearly a month now, but we had our Skills USA state conference back in mid-March, and it was just after our last board meeting. And I want you to be aware that one of our junior students, Mr. Christian Galindo, and he has been here as student ambassador at least a couple of times, so you've met him before. but he was named state president for Skills USA. That's
awesome.
good accomplishment for him, and again, representing our school, we're really proud of that. Other principals have talked about testing that is coming up, and it's no different at the high school. The only difference, I guess you might say, is that we've got quite a bit of testing that also will allow you to earn college credit. We start AP testing, I believe it's on May the 4th, and that will run for literally about a week and a half. Every day we'll have a test or two in the morning, and lots of times those AP tests are about 4 hours long. They'll run like 8 to noon. We'll start another one at that time. It would be rare for a student to have both of those tests, but we do have students that may have 3 or 4 AP classes at one time. So over the course of a week and a half or so, they would take several of those tests. We also start our end of course testing. I believe that's next Tuesday on the 21st, and that will run for about a week and a half. The end of course test, English and math, for instance, there are multiple parts to those tests. So the English test will be over the course of 2 or 3 days, the math test over the course of 2 or 3 days, etc. Also, we have state dual credit testing and local dual credit testing, and those start as early as right at the end of April. So, you know, again, in addition to the end of course test, which are tied to state accountability, lots of kids will be testing for college credit, and you know, we're doing our best to encourage them and to prepare not only our kids for end of course tests, but for those college credit tests as well. There's lots of other things going on, lots of things going on in sports and other club activities, lots of things going on in the arts, and our ambassadors are ready with lots of stuff at the appropriate time tonight. But are there any questions for me? Thank you.
Mr. Parsley,
Thank you, Mr. Parsley.
you gonna take them, get back up there, talk to them about prom.
Oh, I'll do it. I was going to. Okay, I'll do it. So we had, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was around 530 of our students who attended prom on Saturday night. It started at 9 p.m., ran until midnight, had it in our gymnasium. We entered the prom from our music entrance, and the theme was Night on the Red Carpet this year. So as students entered, we had our red carpet. It was lit on both sides. It was just a really neat scene as students walked in. And there were so many times, you know, as I was standing near the entrance to the gym, as students walked around that corner, we intentionally made it so that at the music entrance, it just looked like the school. But when you walk around the corner toward the gym, it looked completely different. And, you know, students would walk around the corner and they were really impressed with the way things looked. Successful night for us. We had, I want to say, 15 or so staff that played a role in the decoration for prom. Miss Tish Jaco has been coordinator for our prom. She's one of our science teachers. She's coordinated for several years, and you know, basically worked with other teachers to make things happen. We had about that same number who chaperoned at the prom, and then we had cleanup on Sunday morning. A little bit of the cleanup happened on Sunday night right after it was over, but cleanup on Sunday, and by a little before lunch on Sunday, you would have never known that there was a prom the previous night. So, any questions? Thank you.
That's just one example of teachers, of what all they do outside the regular classroom.
I'm sorry.
I said that's an example of what all teachers do outside the regular classroom that sometimes is overlooked.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. You know,
And that's what makes the school, that's what makes school happy, a happy place, or things like that.
We do our best to provide activities that our students enjoy. You know, just, you know, as we're honest about what goes on in a school day, you know, you're not going to go to every single class and love every single minute of it. I don't know a lot of students or a lot of adults that would say they love taking those tests, but they're part of what we do to assess our progress and to earn our grades, or our college credits and things like that. But when we provide the extracurricular activities, that's what draws many of our students to school, and that's why some of our students actually graduate high school. So, thank you.
Is that everybody? Okay, thank y'all for attending tonight. To all the principals. Okay, the next thing on our, the first thing on the agenda, I guess that's where we start now, is the general school budget, fiscal year 2026, 2027.
You gotta do our consent item.
She already.
I thought they were
she did.
passed during the agenda.
She did.
Yeah, they were passed during the agenda, I think, weren't they? Okay. Okay, the general consent items were passed with when we approved the agenda. So our action items, number one, is the general school budget fiscal year 2026 through 2027. And there's option 1 and option 2. And I guess, is Ms. Melson or Mr. Hargrove gonna present that to us? I know Ms. Melson's not here.
So far.
As you recall, at our retreat, we have already gone over both of these general school budgets, and we had two options on each one, the general school budget and the school nutrition budget. So all of us have already gone through that pretty thoroughly, and hopefully, this will not take very long to get this approved unless there's something that you have a question about at this time, because I think we pretty well went through it item by item, and so we all should be familiar with it.
Option A, option 1, it will be a 2% increase for all employees, and option B, or option 2, would be a 3%. My recommendation is option A, and I believe it's, I think financially it's responsible, because our numbers that we're looking at budgetarily are going to have to last us a while, a few more years outside of this budget. So planning for the future, it gives us a little more flexibility. But my recommendation is option number 1, which is a 2% raise.
Okay, the director's recommendation is to approve the general school budget fiscal year 2026 through 2027 with option 1 as a 2% increase for all employees. Do I have a motion?
I so move. I'll second.
Okay. The motion was made by Mr. Cordell and seconded by Mr. Gilly. Are there any discussion or questions? I think all of us pretty well discussed this and factored in the concern of the TISA funding may not be as much in the future as it is now, and that's all up in the air, and we can't overextend ourselves at this time.
I'd like to say, just with the track record in the last few years, I personally don't have a problem on the 3%. We all know what the potential hit to fund balance could be. That's right in line with where we've been for the last 4 years, I believe, on the hit to fund balance that never came true. We never had that kind of hit actually take place. So some point you do have to figure when is it going to hit. But we actually done really well and made money back enough that taxes were up, revenues were up, things of that nature, to where we didn't have that hit like we'd anticipated. But as long as the 2% gets us to the threshold the state give us with the 50,000 and things of that nature, well, then we know we've at least fulfilled our obligations with the state anyways, and then continue to look from there.
So what this budget means is that every beginning teacher now will be making $50,000 as their beginning salary.
Yes, ma'am, we would be in compliance with that.
Right. And we have to this year, and that
Yes,
the last
ma'am.
year we had to comply with that. And also too, just remind the audience for them to know that since Monterey was canceled last year, that took a lot of tax revenue out for, that we generally get for the budget, so that we took a hit there also. So hopefully, things will be different for next year, but does any of you have any comments or ready to vote?
Yes, ma'am, I would like to say something. I just, some of the things that, I had someone to go over our budget, and wanted to kind of remind ourselves about some of this stuff. We've got 20 teachers, 20 central office officers and employees that's gonna be making over $115,000 a year. That's an average of $130,000. That's $2.6 million alone. Okay, we've got our director that's making 165, and then we've, when you average all that out, 28% of administration fees of every dollar is going toward administration fees. We're gonna start off right out of the gate with a deficit of $865,000. That's almost $1 million. And we don't have a plan to come up with money to build schools that's gonna cost us $69 million. To me, guys, that's pretty irresponsible. I don't know how any other way that any financial analyst that you can talk to, we're trying to buy, we're spending money that we don't have. We're making a paper trail for it. And that's my take on it. And if you want to look at it and get anybody to do an analysis on our budget and look at it, I'll give it to you. But that's just not, I don't feel like that's very good, being very good, stewards of our money. And especially we're asking for $69 million to build schools with.
Does anybody else have any other comments? Okay.
I do. I'm just curious, Mr. Hanser, what do you feel like an acceptable percentage increase would be?
You're asking me what I think would be? I mean, I don't think that we should do a raise at all right now till we figure out what we're doing with our schools, how we're gonna fund it. We've got to make some cuts. We got to, our county commissioners down here, I think they pretty much already told us until we show something, that we're going to make some cuts, that they're going to have a hard time giving us any money. I think that's a fact.
Okay.
Now, as far as the raise goes, we're mandated by the state to raise.
To do the step raise,
teacher
yes.
portion of
At
that.
It's 8 teachers.
Yes, ma'am, and
Which
we
is
traditionally, when we give.
It's every teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
And philosophically, if
we're-
one's going to get a raise, we all get a raise. And that means our non-certified and our bus drivers and our maintenance, as well as our educational assistants.
So if everybody automatically gets a step raise, which I think we said in the retreat, that comes out to what, about 1%? Is that right?
It's roughly about $800 a year.
So
you know,
maybe not even
per step
1%?
raise.
Okay. And
And
then on
that's-
top of that, if we went with the option A, they would get an additional 2%? Is that right?
The budget, the option one is a 2% for everybody.
Yeah.
And then people are gonna continue to move on the step raise with another year of experience.
So for anybody on that
yes,
step
ma'am.
schedule, really would come out closer to 3%?
2%, everybody's growing a 2%.
Plus the step raise?
Yes.
So it
could
would
potentially,
probably be
yes.
closer to 3%? Okay. Do we have any anticipated increase in insurance premiums or that sort of thing?
Not a clue.
Okay.
But we can bank on, the trend's been from 5 to 9% for the last few years increase.
Well, and I had a couple of teachers mentioned that, even though they get that raise,
It
by
gets
the time
eaten
the
up.
insurance is increased,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
is a wash.
That's correct.
Frustrating.
It
I
is.
understand that.
We were very fortunate in years past to have that raise provided to us to get us to this point. So we need to remember that the county did not have to take up that burden then at that time whenever the raise was given, the big 5% increase. So that kept us at that level. And so now it's, what we're doing. So we need to keep that in mind that for the
Finishing
year or
what we
two,
started.
it did not come from the county budget.
Right.
So I guess we need to just go ahead and vote on this unless we have other options, not other options, but other comments. So the motion is to approve the general school budget for 26-27 with option number 1, 2% recommendation across the board. And that's just not for professional employees, but for everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll start with Mr. Cordell.
Aye.
Ms. Yance? Aye. Mr. Hansard?
No.
Ms. Hodge?
Aye.
Ms. Matthews?
Aye.
Mr. Coon?
No.
Chair votes aye.
Me.
Oh, Robert, I forgot you, Mr. Gilly.
How'd you
Sorry.
forget me?
Sorry. So it passes, see, we have 8 board members, 6 to 2. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we have moved the budget update to item number 2. That's the budget update with Ms. Melson.
Yes, I'm on here.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Hey, April.
Hi.
You look like a telephone.
Very similar.
I'm all, I don't know if y'all want to see what my real picture looks like.
I understand.
I'll go through the budget update for February. For February, we collected $7.4 million in revenue, which brought year-to-date us to 39.4, which was 74% of budget compared to last year, 74.15% of budget. We're a little bit behind of last year's budget, and mainly if we'll collect that 100% of sales tax, it'll get us 100% of budget. If I break out the revenue by state, local, and other, for the state portion of revenue for the month of February, we were at $3.4 million. Local was $4 million, and then other was around $26,000. Going down into expenditures, we spent $5,083,000. Year to date, we are at $35.2 million, and then that brought the budget to 61.14%, compared to last year at 55.06%. If you look at the capital outlay line, we are over budget right now of 131% compared to last year at 69%, and that's mainly because of the budget amendment that should get approved this month for the high school security improvements. But so far, we still have as of February, this is for February, so we still have 5 months of revenue and 4 months of expenditures to record. So budget, there's no issues with the budget, but I will take questions if you guys have them.
Okay, I guess we need to get a motion first. Does this come with your recommendation, Mr. Hargrove?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the amendment year ending June 30th, 2026?
So moved, Madam Chair.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Gillian, second by Mr. Coon. Okay, do we have any questions or concerns? Okay, I guess it's time to vote then. We'll start with Ms. Yance.
Aye.
Mr. Hansard?
Aye.
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 A chair votes aye. Co-chair votes aye. So that's, it passes 8-0. Okay, the next item on our budget is the school nutrition budget, fiscal year 2026, 2027, and there's two options for us there, option 1 and option 2. And Ms. Cotton, do you have anything to say? I know you were with us at the, okay,
I would want to keep it consistent with
what the general school budget is?
Yeah.
Okay. So your recommendation, Mr. Hargrove?
Yes, ma'am, is, option 1, which is a
Okay.
2%.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the school nutrition budget fiscal year 2026, 2027 with option 1, 2% across the board for all employees in the school lunch program? Do I have a motion for that?
I so move.
I'll second it.
Mr. Cordell made the motion, Ms. Yentz seconded. Any questions or comments, concerns? Anybody?
So this means all food service employees will get 2%.
Is that
Right.
correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, part-time, everybody?
Well, yes, it'll be everything.
Everybody, okay. Okay, you ready to vote? Okay, I think we start with Mr. Hansard this time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Aye.
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 And I vote aye. So it's 8-0, that passes. Okay, thank you, April, if you're still on there. She's gone.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Coffee County Central High School 2026 Bonnaroo lease agreement. I guess that's Mr. Shores, or Mr. Hargrove?
Yes, ma'am. We're currently in the second year of a lease, and we currently charge $12,000 for Bonnaroo, the use of our cafeteria, our gym, and our parking lot. So that $12,000 is what they've paid to us the past 2 years. There's a part of me that would like to raise it, but I also don't want to process out of that contract either. So, I'm willing to listen to ideas on our ability to move that price a little bit, or should we stay where we're at?
How many years have we had it at this price?
This is the second year.
Second.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
they've been using our gym longer than that, haven't they?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it was lower in the past?
Yes, ma'am. It started off in 22 at 4,000. We're at 10,000 in 23, 24, and 25. They paid us 12,000. So as we're moving up, we don't the increments. I think that was a very good question, Miss Beth, on the increments that we've jumped. We may just need to proceed with what we're asking currently.
So your recommendation is the 12,000 lease?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do we have a motion for that, and then we can discuss other options if needed? Do we have a motion that we approve the lease agreement between the Coffee County Board of Education and C3 Presence LLC for use of the facility, particularly the gymnasium, I think, during Bonnaroo. It commences on June 8th, 2026, and concludes on June 15th, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve that? And Mr. Kuhn makes the motion.
Second.
Mr. Hansard seconds it. Okay, is there any other questions regarding
I just
the
want
amount?
to ask Mr. Parsley, this doesn't interrupt anything going on at the school in any way?
So we will have summer school going on for some of those days, but it will be on the other end of the building. We've made plans for the parking for our summer school students, for providing lunch for them, and no, it will not interrupt us at all.
Okay. Thank you.
Based upon our plans, there will never be any interaction, between our summer school teachers, students, and anyone who's coming in to do their business pertaining to Bonnaroo.
Thanks.
For a short conversation, didn't do anything. It plants a seed for us to watch this summer. And you can see how big an operation it is in next year when we come to this bridge again.
And maybe next year we need to look at maybe
Yes, ma'am.
increasing it.
Just planting a seed, yes, ma'am.
And Bonnaroo got canceled last year, so they're in a mess too, I guess. So hopefully everything will go well this year. Okay, we ready to vote? Okay, I think we start with Ms. Hodge.
Aye.
Mr. Matthews?
Aye.
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 And I vote aye. So it passes 8-0. Okay, the next area is the director's evaluation. And this is required every year for us to rank our director in certain areas and evaluate the director. And it's mandated that we do this. And it's also mandated that it be done publicly and at an open board meeting, so that's what we're doing. And you have a copy of the director's evaluation, and I know you've received those, a few weeks ago anyway, to look at it, but you have it in front of you. And we'll not go through the entire thing, but I think what we need to look at are the areas that are in need and the areas that are really working well. And what I did was, it's important, like we said earlier, perception is reality. And I thought it would be a good idea for the results of the board evaluation to compare it to how Mr. Hargrove evaluates himself. And that way we can see where the disconnect is, because sometimes in any kind of organization or business or whatever, you may think you're doing wonderful in this area and somebody else perceives you're not. And so that's when the communication breaks down. And hopefully this will be a good way of the board and Mr. Hargrove working together on how we can adjust some of these things. So what I did, you have a sheet in front of you that has the results ranked in order of highest to lowest according to how the board evaluated Mr. Hargrove and how he evaluated himself. And some of them correlate. Like number one, the highest ranking that Mr. Hargrove had from the board was facilities. And I think that's spelt wrong. No, yeah, it is. As a teacher, that worries me when I do something like that. But anyway, I recognized it. Okay. So we agreed on that. That was one of the things that Mr. Hargrove felt that he was doing well, was as far as facilities, and the board consensus agreed with that. The second area of highest was finance. The board felt that Mr. Hargrove was doing well in finance, ranked 3.40 out of the 5, and Mr. Hargrove ranked that 4, so it's a little bit of disconnect there. It's ranked basically the same. He ranked it 3.75, we ranked it 3.40. So I think we're pretty well on the same level with finance and facilities. Okay, under integrity, fairness, and ethics section, this was ranked 3 for Mr. Hargrove by the board, and it was ranked 2 by Mr. Hargrove. So we're still pretty well the same. District staff and personal relationships. Okay, this was number 4 for us, and Mr. Hargrove ranked that number 6. So there is a little bit of difference there. That's something that hopefully we can work on in that workshop and come to consensus on what your thinking is on that area and what we do. Okay, the next one is strategic planning. We had it ranked 5. He had it ranked 3. Human Resources was ranked 6 with the board, and he had it ranked 8. Community Relationships, we had it 7, and he had it number 7. So as you can see, when you get down into the areas of 6, 7, and 8, those are concerns that we really need to work on. So that goes back to community relations, and with everything that goes on in the community and with the board being involved and everybody else, and that's something I think we discussed in our own self-evaluation prior to this meeting, that's something that we will be working on. And that's something Mr. Hargrove can be working on. Number 8 is board relationships. We ranked that number 8, and he ranked it 5. So, and you can look at this and make any comments you'd like, but it looks like that strategic planning, human resources, community relationships, and board relationships are areas that we need to work on as far as with the director and vice versa. If you want to look at the evaluation results, there is a graph at the end that really gives you a lot of information on how it's ranked as far as different areas, and gets into more detail and specific, specific areas that add into this total survey results. So if any of you have any comments, I would like to just go down the row and let each board member, if you have anything to say, because that's what we're supposed to do. And if you don't, that's fine. And I guess I could start on this end. Mr. Kuhn, do you have anything that you would like to discuss with how the evaluation is?
I think well, first off, I'd like to say that I don't know who's to blame, or because TSBA sent all these evaluations out on the same day for us to do, and I don't know if there was a disconnect with some board members thinking they got a double email or whatever, but unfortunately we only had 5 board members participate in the director's
Right, and that needs to be noted. There are only 5 board members that actually are part of this survey, but of those 5, these are the results.
And of course we do not know who those 5 were because it's a blind survey, but the ones that did take it, there is some areas of disconnect between what the board realizes or what the board thinks and what Mr. Hargrove thinks, and those are areas that we need to come together and work on and try to get hammered out, and so we can move on. And that's all I've got.
Thank you. Matthews, do you have anything to say?
I second what Chris said. I think the participation in the evaluation was, could be a little bit improved, but board relations being not so great. I would love to think that we could talk through that and improve that on both sides, all of us together, and probably just comes down to communication, I think, from both sides. But I definitely think that we've got some work to do, and I think we can get there. I do. I have confidence that we can. And we'll just see what this next period of time brings and go from there.
And I know we're supposed to establish some goals, and one of the goals I think would be that next year, when these go out to the school board, that we're, prompted that, hey, this is coming out, because that even happens to teachers. Surveys are sent out and they don't know, they're so busy, they don't see it, and I think that's what happened here is that was overlooked, and maybe next year ago can be 100% participation.
I almost missed it. you know,
Right.
But it's easy to do, to overlook, especially when you get two emails that with the exact same subject line. And
Right.
like Chris was saying, it could come across as a double email, but,
Right.
kind of off topic a little bit, and then we can circle back. But I know there are surveys that go out to, our parents of our students, and, does the board get to see those results?
I believe Miss Cole, didn't she shared the results at a previous meeting?
Was that recently, or? I
No,
can't
ma'am, it's back in the.
recall.
it's been a
Have there
minute.
been surveys sent out this year that we have not seen results for?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I may need to look back then.
We
at
do
that.
those early in the school year when school's
Yeah,
opening. It's a
okay.
good chance to get
Yeah.
as much
And
participation.
those are emailed to us? Is that right?
Say again?
Those results are emailed to us?
I can't remember exactly how it was.
Okay.
Might
Do you
have
guys
been-
remember getting them? Did I just overlook them? I don't remember getting them. Do you?
No.
Okay. I would be very interested in seeing what our parents, feedback from our parents and how they feel. You know, I think it can really open our eyes to some things, and so.
We can see the disconnect between these
Parents.
three entities, the board, the director's
Right.
office, and the community.
Yeah,
I'm writing
if
this
we
down.
can see that.
Well, and you can do that, any surveys that are.
Sure.
I mean, as long as no names are mentioned, the results can be shared. So that's what I'm writing down, that
Yeah,
feedback from parents on any survey conducted to the school system,
yeah, I'm
shared with the board.
interested in seeing how our parents feel. So, but that's all I have.
And also on what you said, we are planning a board workshop. It may be a couple evenings, but with
Yeah.
the school board attorney and our attorney, and all of us can work together on some of these things.
That'd be great.
Okay, Ms. Hodge, you have
Ms.
anything?
Frida, I think we've, jumped the gun here. I think we need to have a motion on the floor to be discussing this.
Maybe so. You want to approve the evaluation, and then we'll discuss it? And then, not approve it, but make a motion in second. Does anybody make a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to approve the.
Okay, Mr. Kuhn made a motion to approve the director's evaluation. Anybody second it?
I'll second it.
All right, Ms. Matthews, second it. Thank you, Mr. Kuhn. All right, Ms. Hodge?
I don't have anything new, so I'll just echo what they said.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Chancellor?
I think what Chris and Holly was saying, I think for our first year, I think it's been a learning process for all of us. I think that it's been a transition period between us, between all of us, and I'm like everybody else. I wish that everybody had filled out, and filled this out. And like I said, like everybody else has said, it may have been. I know I'm not really good at looking at emails too, and between looking at emails at work and then looking at emails on my personal account. But I think we all do. We all got some work to do, and again, I think the biggest majority of it has been just a learning process for everybody, and learning how Mr. Hargrove works and how we work. But I'm like everybody else. I think that it's something. Well, I don't think. I know that it's something that we can. Communication is the key to everything, and communication, emails, and responding to emails, and those are big issues. And I think it's something that we can all work on.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Ms. Yance?
I don't know if I have my head in a cloud or what, but I scored him much higher than I see this score. I was honestly a little disappointed when I saw the scores for Mr. Hargrove, because I've really appreciated the job that he's doing. I see where he's really put his heart into trying to work with the teachers, to work with the school board. So I honestly, I would have scored him much higher myself. And of course, then I also scored us higher too. So, but I do like what the trend of what I see starting to take place in our schools as compared to a year ago. When I first, when I used to sit out here in these school board meetings before I came on. So I think it's a good trend, and we'll get better at it. We'll learn each other. We'll learn what each one's place is and how not to step on each other's toes all the time. So I see that coming, but I think we've come a ways from what we were dealing with. So anyhow, that's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Cordell?
We've come a ways. We're on the right track. We've got a good team. I think I scored him higher too. But Scott, thank you for your service to this county.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gilly?
I gotta agree with Miss Beth. I mean, ultimately, from the time that this came out, this man's had 6 and a half, 7 months as an employee of this system. And, you know, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all, or rate appropriately. Does that make sense? You know, we've got some in here where we answered questions about the, some answered the questions about the scores and holding test scores and things against him from the year that he wasn't even an employee here. And I think we're not even starting TCAP till tomorrow.
Today.
But yet we evaluated him and gave him scores.
Or 2 of them
On where
were
they come out.
not
Yeah.
applicable. I didn't count that
Yeah.
because I didn't think of that.
And then
You're not responsible for that.
Like Mr. Coon said, you know, there was 5 people.
Right. And you always have to look at it this
And
way.
that was confusing.
It's kind of
I'll give
subjective
them that.
too.
They all come out at the same day, same time. They're lucky I
Right.
probably caught one of them.
Yeah, maybe next year everybody can participate. And you know, I know ranking something like this is subjective. Some people think of the middle of the road is great. You know, that person's doing his job. If they give somebody the top, it's like there's no way to improve. And a lot of people will never do that. Even as a teacher, if it's a subjective scoring.
I'm just like with
But
what
it's
everyone
not like,
here.
you know, TCAP where you've got all these percentages and all that. So it's just the opinion of each one, and everybody's opinion is worth the same as the next one.
I agree with everybody wholeheartedly. A year from now,
Right.
we've
I
got
think
something to
so
look at.
too. And I think we're looking at this in the proper way. And like we said, facilities, finance, integrity, fairness, and ethics was top 3. So that's a good thing. And we'll be looking. The main thing is like relationships. So that's all. The rest of them are built on that. And so a lot of things are built on relationships in this world. And so we're going to have to look at that in the same frame of mind. So anyway, we've got a motion on the table in a second, and we will vote to approve the director's evaluation. And I'll start with Ms. Matthews.
Aye.
Mr. Coon?
Aye.
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 And I vote aye. Approved. Aye.
Aye.
Oh, sorry, Jennifer. I'm not good at this.
I got confused for a second.
I'm just not good at this calling out. Okay, let's see what's next on the agenda, if I can find it. Okay, the next item is security locks and handles bid.
Mr. Shores.
Okay, this is a continuation of the medical locking system that we have in our school system. Like I quote to you, or as mentioned last year, this time, we have made it through our schools as far as each classroom is lockable. So teachers are able to lock those doors, go into the classroom. If you look at a double door or 2 sets of doors at the front entrance. My goal was to get around and make sure that we were able to get everything locked down. So the one on the right might be the medical lock. The one on the left is still an old lock that's obsolete and so forth. So ultimately, what my goal is now is to start trying to finish up the job. Our buildings are secured, but this is, and as you can tell, it's very pricey, but if you think about the number of doors we have, it's just the way it works. So it's just finishing the job so that, let's say that if there was a incident at our schools, the front door, and we have a Medico key, whoever has that key, well, they know which door, instead of it being just one of the two, both doors are Medico. So that kind of gives you an idea. Also, we didn't put Medico on like closets for janitors. We're starting to get those changed out. It's just finishing up the job rather than, we've got the students all in a good shape. Now it's just finishing the rest of the building. And as you can tell, it's broken down by the different schools and which ones are needed. And after the motion and the second, any questions, I'd be glad to answer those.
Okay, does this come with your recommendation, Mr. Hargrove?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the security locks and handles bid?
I'll make a motion.
A motion made by Ms. Hodge,
I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Cordell. Any discussion? If not, we'll start with Mr. Coon.
Aye.
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 And I vote aye. Passes 8-0. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the cybersecurity monitoring and protecting service bid. That's Mr. Shores again.
Oh,
This
that
is
would be
actually
me.
Sorry, Mr. Damewood.
And there's a document on your desk that covers the amount. We just don't want to mention anything about the service or the product. The price is $33,535, which is why it's in front of you guys. It's under the TIPS contract, and it's part of doing business.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve this.
Okay, Mr. Gilly makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Ms. Ince seconds it. Is there any discussion? Okay, we'll start with Mr. Coon.
Me.
Oh, is it Robert? Okay, Mr. Gilly.
Aye.
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 Ms. Hodge.
Aye.
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 And I vote aye. That passes 8-0. Okay, item number 7 is the E-rate category 2 switches bid.
That would be me.
Okay.
Again, a real quick refresher, E-rate gives the schools money for the internet connectivity. That's category 1. This is category 2, which is the hardware, the equipment, the network equipment. They have budgeted for a 5-year period based on our student enrollment about $865,000. We have to pay a percentage of that $865, kind of matching grant, I guess, if you will. So the first thing that we're going to be replacing are some switches, and you can see that the vendor is going to be Central Technologies. And if you look under, our actual cost is $5801.40. That is our actual cost out of our pockets. And then E-Rate pays the rest of that. And this was done by the Tennessee mini bid. And if you're asking why there's only one, remember how late they were and they barely got it out? Well, most of the vendors scrambled to get it back by that April 1st deadline, too. So we've already applied because we had to, but this is to approve that purchase.
Okay, does this come with your recommendation?
Yes, ma'am. We're very fortunate to have Mr. Damewood leading our tech department.
Yes.
Very fortunate.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the E-rate category 2 switches bid?
I so move.
Motion made by Mr. Cordell,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Matthews. And I think I need to start with Mr. Well, we need a discussion. Are there any discussion on this E-rate category 2 switches bid? Okay, we'll start with Mr. Cordell.
Aye.
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 And I vote aye. Passes 8-0. Okay, number 8 is E-rate Category 2 wireless access points bid.
Same thing as I said before, just more expensive. I do want to, for the record, it says Director's Recommendation, Central Technologies. It should be CWG. It was just, I use this and I didn't change the title, so I just want to make sure that's for the record. There, that on that bid, on that, it says Central Technology. That needs to be changed to CDWG, which of course is the only respondent this time. And you can see our total cost for out of our pocket is $29,187.15.
Has this come with your approval, Mr. Hargrove,
Yes, ma'am.
with your recommendation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the E-rate Category 2 wireless access point bid?
I'll make that motion.
Ms. Matthews made the motion.
I'll second.
I guess Ms. Yance seconded. Any discussion? Okay, I think it's Ms. Yance's turn to vote.
Aye.
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 And I vote aye. It passes 8-0.
Thank you all for your service.
Thank you, Ms. Okay, item number 9 is Coffee County Central High School serving lines bid, and I guess that's Ms. Cotton.
Ms. Cotton's going to share with us.
Okay.
Yes, I was told by maintenance last year that there's several pieces of equipment, which is probably the majority of the equipment in the high school, due to its age, is going to have to be replaced. There was some kind of rule with Freon, and whatever we have is really old. It's going to be hard to get the Freon and very expensive to fix. And I started looking into it and decided that as I could, I would start replacing everything and start a plan on it. So the first thing I wanted to replace was the serving lines. They are from 1976, so I think we've gotten our money's worth out of them. And
Legacy.
so I had a company come out and look at the serving lines, and we've decided on a plan. You can see there it comes to $119,598. That's going to be our biggest purchase. I do have money in fund balance to cover that, and I will make back this year enough to replace that fund balance. And we were going to go through a Sourcewell contract to do it, and I just need your approval.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the Coffee County Central High School serving lines bid.
I'll make the motion.
Ms. Hodge made the motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Cordell seconded. Okay, is there any discussion or questions from Ms. Cotton?
Just think how many meals have been served off of
Yeah,
it. There is,
exactly.
who knows?
I'm sure
how many.
Mr. Parsley could. It's much needed.
I've eaten a few myself.
Yeah.
I've got to say that, Ms. Cotton, I appreciate that you handle your finances so well that you've got this in fund balance to do.
Oh, well, thank you.
really appreciate that.
I'm excited to do this. It's much needed.
You don't have to
Thank you.
convince us. I think we believe that.
Any more discussion?
So is there some kind of new snazzy technology involved in the replacement? I'm just curious. Like, is it
Well,
electronic conveyor belt?
I wish. No. It's just basically, it does the same thing. It is just a little snazzier. I will say that.
Yeah.
But overall,
upgrade.
it's just changing out some of what we have to something that they can fix, and changing it from wet wells to wet wells and dry wells. It's just a whole bunch of different features that are out there now.
50 years newer, right?
Yes. I'm just really excited. They need this for a while, and
Yeah.
I think it needs to be done.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, are we ready to vote? Okay, I think it's Mr. Hanser.
Aye.
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 Aye. Passes 8-0. Okay, number 10, the new policy, 5.503, misconduct and discipline. I think Mr. Kuhn was wanting to present that to the board. And I guess what we need to do is have a motion that we're making a motion for Mr. Kuhn to present us his thoughts and ideas on developing a policy or amending a policy of misconduct and discipline. And I know this will eventually have to be approved through the policy committee and go through the correct procedures, but he is just wanting to do that with the board, some of the concerns or issues that he'd like to see addressed. And if I have a motion.
For discussion?
For
Motion
discussion.
Okay.
So
I'll
we
make
need
that
a motion for discussion of new policy 5.503, misconduct and discipline.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Gilly makes the motion. Have a second?
I'll second
I'll
it.
second.
Ms. Matthews, I think. Okay, Ms. Matthews seconded.
Ladies first, so.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Kuhn, I know you passed something out to us, and you want to go over that?
Well, this policy, reporting misconduct and disciplinary action 5.503 would be in conjunction with our other policies that govern the conduct, grievances, for our employees. And this policy here goes over and above any of those others, because this policy here is set to protect the employees more so than the other policies. The other policies tend to deal more with the discrimination in race, religion, sexual discrimination. This here is more about the actions of an employee toward another employee. And done a lot of research and put this policy together. It covers, the reporting of the misconduct, the prohibition against retaliation, got your good faith standard, got the investigation procedures. It's got a burden of proof clause and retaliation presumption. It's got a discipline area with a disciplinary matrix. It's got a section on false reports that, if somebody makes a false report, and then also for appeals. Basically, this is, a good rule of thumb is if you want the trust of all your employees, you have to do it with accountability through consistency. And with the discipline matrix listed on the policy, it gives the accountability and the consistency. And basically that's it. There's been, I've talked with many former and current employees, and they've always felt a little insecure about bringing forth something that they didn't feel right about, that they felt was unethical or retaliatory, and because they were afraid that, they would be retaliated against even more. So I think this is a policy that we most definitely need to approve, and just to be honest, I know the motion was made to just discuss it, but just to be honest, I don't think this needs to go to the policy committee, because I do believe that it will get stripped down, and there will be it will basically wind up being a shell of what it's intended to be.
Madam Chair.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to
Madam
say?
Chair,
Oh, yes, Mr. Goodrich.
This policy, which we were just given it tonight, obviously, I'm not willing to move from a discussion to a vote on something we were just given tonight. I'm definitely game. I would like to see this board come together, this go through the proper channels, go through the policy committee, compare every separation of group throughout this policy. When I just got it at the start of the meeting tonight, is paragraphs almost verbatim on some from policies 5.50, 5.60, 5.101, 5.501, 6.300 of current policy. This, I do agree, this is a streamlined, combined one policy number. Just a few things, prohibition against retaliation. Most people think the First Amendment is just a free speech, There's literally a line in the First Amendment, and I don't expect teachers and I don't expect people to know that word for word what's in the First Amendment, but literally one of the sentences is protects public employees from retaliation. That's a constitutional right and protection. Our problem, and what I wish we could get across, because I don't want everybody to understand that, is that's basically where your whistleblower statutes we hear about come from. We just need people to speak up. And we can't stand for retaliation. We've got to be ready to stand right on top of its head. Don't think I'm knocking this policy, me personally. But to do away and try to ram this through to have another coupled with 5 others, I think it deserves to go to the table. And like I say, there's been policies that other board members have come in and voiced before the policy made it to the board to get some things ironed out before it got to the board. That's what we're all here for. But we gotta stick with the process of getting it there right.
I thought I'd already talked about the process one time about you didn't have to take it before the policy board. If the board wanted to vote on it tonight, we could go ahead and vote on it as a board tonight.
No, they could amend what the recommendation that came from the policy committee was. That's what we had that discussion about that night that you're talking about.
I think all of us agree that we don't want any employee to feel like that they're going to be retaliated against for reporting something that is unethical or illegal or wrong. And, our employees shouldn't be afraid to do that. And I think that's what maybe Mr. Kuhn is wanting us to have a policy for. But I understand that, it is, all of us haven't really reviewed this carefully, and once this passes, it's part of our policies.
Yeah,
so we really need to
you can
look
go
it
right back
over.
to the back page on discipline there and talk about employees found to have engaged in misconduct or retaliation shall be subject to disciplinary action up into including termination. That sentence is in about 25 policies. You've read them, I've read them. I mean, do I agree in having a one-stop shop here that a employee could get something a little quicker and easier? Yes, but I mean, like I say, we gotta make sure we're not overlapping and crossing up with many other policies. And it's very simple to do on our website. Just go to the search bar and search retaliation, and you'll get every policy that word shows up in. Come up that quick.
Well, this was discussed in the February work session, right? Was that February work session?
Yes.
In detail.
And
It was.
I'm not saying it was, I'm just saying I don't remember it, but I mean, even though it was in the
You
work
were part of the
session-
discussion.
Yeah.
I know, I wasn't
And it
in on
was
it.
stated that it would go before the policy committee, and here we are 2 months later.
No, that was a grievance. That was a grievance policy. When we straight up have a grievance policy. That was a grievance policy. This is the first time I've heard about a new 5.503.
This was put forth in the February, is either the February meeting or the work session. And it was said that, you know, it
I believe
needed
we'll
to
have
go
to
in
have
front
a
of the
right.
policy committee. And like I said, here we are 2 months later, and there hasn't been a policy committee meeting. There, you know.
That's because we've actually went through some changeover here with personnel that assembles everything that TSBA is hoping to get done in time with what we stack in on top. I mean, the very last one we had, we did 67 policies, I think, in one meeting in an attempt. I mean, yes, I know that just this week we've been talking about bringing Miss Shannon in and getting her briefed really, really, really quick so that hopefully within the next month we can get back after it. But I think that's where was that what it was, Frida? But, you know, as far as, you know, I don't, I remember talking about the grievance, but I don't never remember anything about a discipline policy coming up.
Can we not put that up for a vote?
Right now, we're in a motion, or we passed a motion to discuss, I believe, or we're in discussion of the motion to discuss.
Right. Does anybody else have anything to say about this?
I do.
Okay, Ms. Yentz?
Of course, I think this is very good, and I think it needs to take place, but I don't see where it's on our agenda. Is it on there? Am I missing it?
Number 10. Action item number 10.
New policy 5.503, misconduct and
Okay.
discipline. And it's up to the board. You know, if you have some reluctance, I mean, I'm in agreement with Ms. Yentz. I think it's needed. I mean, I think there needs to be a separate policy for prohibition against retaliation in all this. And I commend Mr. Kuhn and for, do we need to, I'm just thinking, do we need to have the TSBA attorney to look at this, make sure that we've, you know, got this correct and something's not.
I think it's already a policy
Is
in
this the
another
state,
district.
is this the state policy? I mean, is this a,
There were other
Replica.
district policies that you used, right?
okay,
Right, yeah, I contacted Ben and he sent me some model policies from some other districts that
Okay.
do have this policy. There's not many districts that have this policy
okay.
on file.
It is very much needed here.
Not many, or how many were? How many were? Did he tell you how many used this model?
Well, I mean, this is a little different from the model he sent, but, I think he said there was 3 or 4, maybe 5, I don't remember, it's been some time ago.
I think,
I'm sorry.
I think what is bothering me is, yes, it's on the agenda, but this was not in our information packet, so that we had a chance to look at it before we came into the meeting. So I think anything like this, that we're gonna be making changes, needs to be in that information packet so that we have time to go through it. And then possibly if it had been there when we came in here, we could say, oh, okay, let's vote. But I'm just seeing this thing, so.
Okay. So what are your thoughts? Does anybody want to make a motion to approve it or a motion to put it on our next board meeting?
Well, we're in the motion to
Policy meeting?
discuss right now, and they'd take an amendment to that motion to make it an action item to get approved or not approved.
Does anyone want to make an amendment to the discussion?
And then keep in mind that all policies require a 3 hearings unless it's a first and final on a very emergency item. It needs to be a definite emergency item. We've done that before, first and the final, because state had a deadline of the next
Right.
day or 2 days later, so that kind of thing. But this definitely don't
Right.
fall into that.
Well, is that not the first time we discussed it. We did discuss it at the February work session in detail.
Well, it's gotta take
But-
votes. That's what the approvals is. The readings is a vote
Oh.
three times. Or you do a first and a final on an emergency. We can get by on emergency type things or pertinent things. We've done that before.
So discussing in work session does not count towards?
No, we didn't act on it. We didn't have no action.
Okay.
So the motion needs to be to send this to policy, is that what it would be?
I would say that would be the first step, to go to the policy committee
Policy
and then
committee,
come.
and we've done that. I believe the last one back in the fall when we were talking about it, I think other board members did show up and they voiced their opinions, and they didn't like what came to the board meeting, but majority rules.
Do we have one on the schedule?
No, we're trying to get newcomers brought up to speed and welcome her to the stack that tall.
Yeah.
What would be another option of, we could definitely, call a policy committee meeting and, have them look at that, because I think everybody would feel more comfortable with the policy committee, making sure that there's not any typographical errors or something that's contradicting something else, because it always takes several eyes on something too. Because I'm on that, I was on the policy committee, and it is,
I think you still can be, even though you're subbing for the chair.
right.
I think you still can be.
Miss Frida,
Uh-huh.
I think one thing that we have to consider is that the policy committee is made up of members who this policy would directly affect. And so,
Right, I never thought about that.
All policies are, mostly.
yeah, this one though, I think may be a little different because it's obviously a supervisory type. It targets supervisory type work and talking about retaliation, reporting misconduct, that type of thing. And so just thinking that the members of that committee are mostly the ones who this policy would affect, we want to make sure that that the approval of it is objective, impartial, considering the.
Ms. Matthews, what are you insinuating about our leadership? That raises.
I'm not
I mean,
insinuating
Mr. Director, let me
anything.
explain this. We have a policy right now that we review every year with these same folks, that I know where this is going, of discrimination, harassment of employees. The next policy is complaint and grievances. The next one's complaints about school personnel, rights and staff and staff rights and responsibilities, staff conflicts of interest. You know, we've got all of these policies that we have to go over every year anyways through the policy committee. That's what all of those little numbers are that everybody does in the normal consent items and things, and on all these meetings. So there's no difference between this and them, and I wanted to interject in there before we got too carried away, because I know exactly what that insinuation was.
Okay, I don't think
I didn't try to
anybody's
insinuate
insinuating anything.
Yeah, that's totally not
That
where I
it
was
would be
going.
biased. It would be biased because board members and administration, mostly administrative staff, is on the policy committee.
That's what
That's the
that's all I'm
point.
saying.
Yeah.
That's
Is
the
that it-
point.
Okay, what's the point then of the ones that we do every single year, Scott Hansard? What is the difference between it and every one of these that we do every year, Scott Hansard?
Okay, I think what it is that there is a feeling among, sometimes organizations that they don't have a voice because they're afraid that they're gonna be retaliated against. And that's just fact, no matter where you work or who you work for. And I guess what your purpose is to just specify this so that in a separate policy where employees could feel secure if there was something that they did need to. And you're saying that it's already there, so.
Read policy 5.500, discrimination and harassment of employees. It don't matter if you're at the top or you're at the bottom.
And
I recommend anybody that is an employee of Coffee County Schools to look at our policies that are online, and you can just get close to one of the names that lines up with what your concern is, and you can search it and you'll see it pop up. And am I saying that every word in our current 5.500 is perfect to make all of this board happy 100%? No, but that's where we need to take the two and compare.
So you
We
say,
need to be building school buildings right now. We need to be deciding what we're gonna do for our students. We need to be pushing this system forward.
okay, and I think that's what everybody's trying to do. I mean, I don't think anyone is trying to insinuate anything. As just an individual school board member, I don't take this as an insult to anybody. I just take this as a policy that we need to look at and
Ms.
not
Jones, you've done a great job tonight. Wonderful job. I love it.
until now.
No, you've done a great job. I'm losing myself in my own emotions in just this.
Right,
rigmarole
and we
of
all
how
do
the
that.
Meetings get stretched out and all
Right.
this goofy stuff.
And
So,
we all do that. I'm capable of that for
Can I
sure.
go take a restroom break while y'all decide on this, even though I
Yes.
made the motion?
Yes, that's fine with me.
Okay, good, I'm out of it. I'll be back.
Okay, what are your thoughts, Mr. Cordell? Do you think that this needs to be made a motion tonight and approved, or do you think that we need to bring it at the next board meeting, look at it? I mean, the board would have, we're the policymakers.
Right.
And we can have policy committees and we can talk and all this, but it comes down to us. That's one of the requirements of a school board member. And that's not getting out of our lane. So this is very serious. And, you know, some of our board members think that this needs to be an addition. And we just need to make sure that the language is correct and that everything is okay, because once it's approved, it becomes a part of our policies. And
And as I said, since we only got it tonight, I agree with what we're trying to do and saying, but I would suggest we go back home and go through this and put it on the table for May.
okay, what about you, Ms. Yance?
Yeah, all I'm asking is just time to look at it.
Right, okay. Ms. Transford?
I don't know. No comment.
Are you considered an emergency?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
No,
then
ma'am, I
that.
don't consider it an emergency.
Then you'd be okay. It's not an
Yes,
emergency.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Hodge?
I guess in my head, I don't understand why this would make anyone mad as an employer and an employee. To me, this is safety for everyone and just some good guidelines. So I'm not offended by it. I think that Mr. Coon worked really hard on it and we owe it a look over. I mean, I just don't find this offensive. I don't see what this could possibly hurt, but it could help.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree
Ms.
with
Matthews?
I agree with
Okay.
what Jennifer said.
I agree.
It's, I think, offers a layer of safety and protection for employees. And, we did discuss it at the February work session. It was kind of a long discussion.
And I'm thinking some of us had to leave too, and then maybe
Yeah,
didn't
I
get in
don't
on all
know.
of it.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
if it needs to be looked at and put back on in May, do I think it's an emergency? No, but I do think that it is something that we need to get in place, and not just beat around the bush about it. It's not an emergency, obviously, but I think that it would give our employees a feeling of just feeling more secure with being able to report anything that they feel is out of bounds and without retaliation and without threats to their positions and that kind of thing. And I think that's important. So,
If
Well,
no
I-
one's doing anything wrong, then what does this hurt?
yeah, right.
That's the way I read it.
Mr. Coon?
I'll be good for it to be back on the agenda for May, for a vote.
Okay. Ms. Yance, did you have something else to say?
Yeah, I think this is a very good thing. What I've been able to quickly look through, but I really you know, I would like to study it and see, compared to the policies we already have in place, is there anything else we want to add to it? I think it's good to consolidate it, but we just kind of need to make sure that what we're already saying, we're not contradicting ourselves. So,
Okay. So do we need a motion to put it on the next board agenda, or is that?
You could do a motion to postpone and bring it back during the May
Okay.
board meeting.
Okay. We amend the motion for discussion?
You could do amendment and do it that way. Either way you want to do it, be fine.
Or a separate motion? Okay.
Because if you postpone it, you're going to bring back actually the motion that was made by Mr. Gilly tonight.
To discuss it, okay.
Whereas if you amend it, then you're amending the actual motion.
Right.
And then you don't have to deal with that
Right.
specific motion, which was discussion of
Okay.
the action item.
I will have to say that as a former employee of the school system, that I would have liked to have had this in our policies, not that I was, not that I was ever retaliated against, but it would just make me feel secure, even though, like Mr. Gilly said, he's right, it's addressed in other policies. But at least there's one you can look at and say, you know, that's not right, what's being done, and I'm afraid to tell anybody because I'm afraid I'll lose my job. And I don't see that happening anywhere.
Yeah.
If it get, but if it does get that serious, then they
They're
can.
protected.
Mm-hmm. So do we want, who made the motion for discussion? Mr. Gilly? Uh-oh. Will you amend, would you be okay amending your motion to table this and put it on the agenda for the May meeting?
Ms. Jones, it doesn't actually have to be Mr. Gilly. It could be
Okay.
anybody make an amendment to
Okay.
the motion, and then you would vote on that amendment. And instead of, it would not be a table, it would actually be a postpone to
Okay.
the May meeting if that's what you wish.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be friendly,
It does not have to be a friendly amendment.
because this was not.
Ms. Jones, I'd like to make an amendment to this and make a motion to bring this up on the May, next meeting, for it to be voted on, as a board.
Okay, the motion is to amend the previous motion of discussion
Yes, ma'am.
and postpone voting on whether or not we are going to approve, let's see what it's reporting misconduct and disciplinary action, 5.503 for the May meeting. Does that make sense to you? Okay. All right, we have that motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, second by Ms. Hodge. And I think is it your turn? I guess it doesn't matter. I've read the rules. You can do it anyway. So we'll start with Ms. Hodge.
Aye.
Ms. Matthews?
One question. So
Okay.
this is on target to go on the May agenda, correct?
For May. Is that,
If this
yes,
passes.
yes, if this passes, it'll be on the
That's what
May
we're voting
agenda
on?
to vote, to
Okay.
approve it or disapprove it for a
Okay.
policy.
Okay, aye.
Mr. Coon? Mr. Gilly?
No.
Mr. Cordell? Ms. Yentz?
Aye.
Mr. Hansard?
Aye.
And I vote aye, and passes 7-1.
Your amendment passed, yes.
Okay,
So now you have amended the main motion. Now you need to vote on the main motion,
okay, all right, we'll do that.
which is with this amendment.
Right,
It should be the same, but that's what you're supposed to do.
okay.
You still get discussion too.
You do get discussion.
You still get discussion too.
Why did he have to make it?
You still get discussion too.
All right, okay,
So
that,
now it's, if there's any discussion.
you can go back to the bathroom.
No, I just got a few points. Number one, when it does come to May,
I'm
it
just
cannot be
teasing.
passed fully in one meeting.
Right,
And the policy committee, if they have a meeting between now and the May meeting, can go ahead and have something else to present at that time, if other members come or whatever.
Well, it could be passed, I guess, if we considered an emergency at that May meeting.
There's no emergency to it. I mean, how you gonna prove that in a court of law? How you gonna prove that there's an emergency to it when we have 5 other policies that mimic the same paragraphs?
Okay,
Just
well,
because it's all in one place and some others want it, that's not an emergency.
okay, do
All
we,
right, I'm
ha-
done. I'm not saying another word.
do we have a motion to, put this
You
on
already have the
the,
motion.
Yeah, it's just a vote.
The
Thought you-
motion's already there.
We just need to vote on it.
You just need to vote.
well, that's what I was gonna do.
I'm sorry, but you asked, do we have a motion? You don't need a
No,
motion. You already have a motion.
I was getting ready to vote, and then I thought you said I needed another motion because that was an amendment.
What are we voting?
Don't ask me. Okay, can you read that back so it's,
Y'all are making an amendment to the postpone.
Right.
The May agenda on that motion, and y'all voted on that.
right?
And our vote passed 7-1. So now you need to take a vote.
So now the motion actually says to postpone to the May agenda. Like I said,
Okay.
it should be the same, but that's what you're supposed to do. Because you just voted on the amendment to change the motion. Now it's been changed, now you're voting on the motion.
Okay, and somebody's got to make that motion because they haven't made it yet.
The motion was already made earlier on by Robert Gilly and seconded by Holly Matthews. That was the main motion. Then Mr. Hansert made an amendment, a motion to amend it, that motion, and it was seconded by Jennifer Peacock Hodge. It passed. So now the main motion has been changed to postpone back to the May meeting. So now you are actually voting on that motion. So
That
it's
main motion.
The original.
the original motion with the amendment.
Okay.
Because the amendment can't pass without the original motion passing, is that correct?
Well, you have to have the amendment to change the motion.
Yeah.
If it didn't pass,
Okay.
then you still are stuck with just discussing it.
Right.
Okay. Does
I
everybody,
understand what you're saying.
okay, does everybody understand? We made an amendment to the original motion, and so now we're voting on that motion that has been amended to put it on the May agenda,
That is
to vote on it at that time. And so I guess we're ready to vote.
On that last one, the motion, the amendment that I made now, we need to make sure that, for it to be brought up in May and to be voted on.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I
That
said.
needs to be,
I
that needs to
just-
be documented.
I just
that
said
it's
that.
gonna be voted, okay.
And you got that, didn't you? Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah, that was already stated, and she got it.
thank you.
Okay, we're ready to vote, and I'll start with Ms. Matthews.
Aye.
Mr. Coon?
Aye.
Mr. Gilly?
No.
Mr. Cordell?
Aye.
Ms. Yance?
Aye.
Mr. Hansard?
Aye.
Ms. Hodge?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So the motion passes 7-1. Okay, and we moved the budget update, so we're on number 7, items for discussion. And I guess that's each individual board member. I'm just gonna randomly, I'm not gonna start at one end or the other. It's not fair to people. I'll start with Ms. Yance. Do you have anything to discuss tonight?
Oh, I do not, but this is so fun.
Mr. Cordell?
No, I don't have anything to discuss.
Mr. Gilly?
Go home and eat supper.
Mr. Gilly?
Yeah, I look forward to things coming up in the future.
Okay. Mr. Coon?
I don't really have anything to discuss.
All right, Ms. Matthews?
I'm at a loss for words.
Ms. Hodge?
I want to brag on Miss Michelle Mulligan for a second. She had this huge event at Hickerson. I think it was called Meet the Heroes. And it was all the community partners, and the kids, even the pre-K kids, learned speeches so that they could introduce the community partners. And they stood there and did their whole little spiel, and then they gave out all this stuff, and it was just really cool. We had tour guides, so we walked through. So they did their presentation probably up to 15 times or so for everyone, and they probably talked to 100 people. And I was just really proud of all those kids and Miss Michelle for doing it. It was very cool.
Hickerson's got a lot going on, and they really work with the community
Yes, they do.
and get a lot of help.
There were a
From
lot
the
of
community.
familiar faces there for community partners. They were very excited to be part of it.
Mr. Hansard?
I'm like Miss Matthews, I'm at a loss for words,
Okay, that's,
but at the moment,
Can I say one more thing? I like it when we're nice to each other, all of us. I don't like it when we call each other's names and when we assume people are feeling a certain way. We all do better when we're nicer. So that's my little mama bit there. I like it when we get along.
okay, I think that I'm just proud that we're all passionate for our school system. I mean, I think that's what it is. Everybody is passionate that they want what's best for our school system, and some of us have different ideas than others, but we'll come together and come up with the best solution. And that's all I have to say. And thank y'all for putting up with me until Mr. Ballard gets well.
You did a good job.
Okay, we have our committee reports. Do we have any committees that's met?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now we're, bless y'all's heart for sitting through this. But it's time for your ambassador report. And I guess you can come up to the microphone and turn the mic around to fit you. And make sure you state your name because you're on TV and your parents probably want to keep this video.
All right. I'm Kira McIntyre. We had our prom, as Mr. Parsley said, this past Saturday night, and David Lewis and Carly Freeman were named our prom king and queen. Our upcoming events for CHS, we have boys soccer. They have a home game versus Franklin County at 7 on Friday, April 17th, and they have other away games this week. Tennis has a home game versus Summertown this afternoon at 3:30. It was at 3:30, and it was actually senior night tonight. Then we have baseball. We have a home game versus Cookeville, 6 p.m. tonight, and they have 3 other away games this week. Softball is home versus Cookeville at 7 p.m. senior night, Wednesday, April 15th. They're away at Shelbyville on April 16th, and they're hosting the Coffee County Classic the 17th and the 18th. Track meet, they have a meet Friday at Webb, and this week is tryout week for the CHS Raiderette dance team. Friday, April 17th is the final tryout day. Cheer clinics start today, and the final tryout is April 21st. Choir has upcoming choral production, 6 p.m. Thursday, April 23rd through Saturday, April 25th, and at 2 p.m. Sunday, April 26th. And we actually had a few choral students score superior and excellent in the solo and ensemble singing competition. Those students are Peter Celedonio, Jacob Estep, Elizabeth Naughton, Jacob Estep, Skylar Howard, and Charles Higgins.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bella Van Zambergen. I'm first going to go over the flag football team. I know it's been covered a couple times. They do have a game tonight. It's playing right now, actually, and they're playing Boyd Christian. And then tomorrow they're going to travel to White County to play. And I have had a pleasure of being a part of this team. I can't play because my knee is still healing from surgery, but my sister's on the team. I have lots of friends, and just having the privilege to see them grow as a team, it's literally like it's so new for all of them. And they've excelled. Like, we had 5 girls go to a meet in Jacksonville, I believe, and they were top of a lot of colleges' list. My sister, she's a freshman, and they had said that they wish that she was older so they could offer her a scholarship. Like, all of our players were on their radar, and it's just been really cool. So we'd be really excited to have that be TWSAA next year. HOSA, they recently got back from a conference in Chattanooga, and Teen Health Council is going to help them elementary schools on the field day for May 6th. FFA has an egg hunt that happened last week, and I'm pretty sure that was successful, right? Yes, it was very successful. Beta, they went to Oak Barrel Run and hosted special ed prom last Friday, and the special ed students, they got to take a lap through the cafeteria, and we all cheered for them. They were very beautiful. Skills USA went to the state conference and had one golden receipt, which was Christian Galindo. He was named president, and we received additional, I don't know how to say that word. Accolades as well.
I don't know that I could have said that either.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually seen that word.
I'm trying to picture it. I don't know if any of us have seen that word.
DECA, they had a group of students that will be attending their International Career Development Conference in Atlanta in the end of this month, so into April. And FBLA students, they attended the State Leadership Conference in Chattanooga this past week. Our Coffee County FBLA chapter was named Chapter of the Year. That we talked about that earlier, and Kira was actually a part of that. And
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of students who won first, second, and third place, a lot of runner-ups, and it was just really fun to go and meet with other FBLA students.
yes, and this week we have our student government officers running. Kira is running for student body president. And next week we will have our class presidents, and the week after will be our representatives. We're helping set up the morning of Senior Awards Day that's coming up on May 1st at 9 a.m. And we're also preparing for the end of the school year events such as Freshman Tour, Senior Week, and graduation setup. We held a teen career of applied tech signing day in the auditorium last Thursday in the morning, and we had 35 seniors sign up with many of their family members that attended, which was a really special time. And that is all we have for y'all.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I have a
Thank you.
question for you.
Yes.
Since you've been around the flag football and this is the first year of having the club, do you feel that there's a number of girls that would kind of seeing what's going on that would want to participate? You know, would the numbers increase for next
Absolutely.
year?
Yes. I know there were some girls that they wanted to do it, but they weren't exactly sure, or they were committed to track or some other place. But if it was a sport and they were traveling and more consistently, definitely. And
Good.
there's a
That's
lot
good
of
to hear.
scholarship opportunities, and there's a lot that can come with it.
That's good to hear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Helen? That's becoming a big sport, isn't it, all over the United
It is,
States?
Yes.
That's
That
awesome.
Last summer, I was able to attend a camp, and it was hosted at Blackman, and there was a lot of very talented girls there.
Another avenue for women's sports. That's great.
Absolutely.
Did they use the football field? That's great. And maybe they can participate in some of that lighting sometimes.
They do. I think
Do they?
Justin McIntosh is there tonight with it.
Oh, good.
So,
How do you like
sound,
that?
all the sound, the normal
The
shows
sound
like
and
we
the
do at
lighting at the
games.
football field?
Yes, it's nice. We've only had one home game, so this is our second.
Okay.
He wasn't there then. He
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
do
So
that.
you're in for a treat
Yes.
with the lights and
Is the end zone, the actual end zone for the football game, is it different?
It's shorter, so
Yeah.
it's a more narrow
Okay.
field, and then the end zone starts at the 20-yard line for each side.
I thought it looked a little different. Okay.
If you get a chance sometime and you go home and look on your computer, and we did this earlier in the year, look up TSSAA and look up girls, women's flag football, and look at Memphis, Nashville, Chattanooga, and Knoxville. And every school that's got girls flag football has got a red dot. And it's all it is just one centrally red spot. That's how many teams is up there. So when you come down here to us, McMinnville, y'all played McMinnville, Van Buren County has a team. Have y'all played them yet?
I actually am not sure that we have.
But it's, hopefully, that big red glob will be down in our area here in the next couple of years. And I'm sure it will. But glad y'all are enjoying it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much. And there's just so many good things going in our schools that I think we forget when we're up here at board meetings and see what all's going on in all the schools, all the principals that have come up here and just gave us a little bitty glimpse of what's going on. That's just part of it. And so we really need to we're really proud of our schools and proud that public education can provide that kind of experience for everybody that wants to participate. And thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess the next item on the agenda is the capital project update.
Yes.
That be Mr. Shores.
Quickly going through those, the lighting projects is complete at Raider Academy and also at the middle school. So those are completely up and running, which we talked about just a little bit last Thursday. At the football stadium, the restrooms have been completely redone. They are finished. They are in use now. I'm sure they're being used tonight. So when you get a chance, you're over there, you might want to check them out because they did turn out, I think, turned out really nice. Couple more things. Well, this they're on the same part. Furniture doesn't have an end date, of course, because it's not happening until this summer. That's when it all gets changed out. And I believe that's pretty much it. We had the high school culvert that had to be changed out, and they got finished up and back in March, and it's still down in the upcoming projects because it was one of those that had to be done fairly quick. But that's about it. Unless anybody's got any questions.
Okay, any questions? Thank you, Mr. Shores. Okay, and the last item on our agenda is the director's report.
Yes, ma'am. Our principals talked, kind of stole the thunder again. Our prom, that was my first Coffee County prom. You guys looked great. Everybody looked happy. It was very rewarding. They did a great job of decorating the gym. I was very, very impressed. TCAP, keep our students, our teachers, their families in your prayers. TCAT signing. We traditionally have 18 to 20 students that sign with TCAT. This year we had 35 students, and that is awesome.
Yes.
Last Thursday, like we talked about, we had the job fair, and Mr. Parsley mentioned that. Those business owners and Chamber of Commerce people that were interviewing our students had nothing but glowing remarks. Our kids handled themselves well in that, and that will serve them well in life. And our teachers did a good job of preparing of that. But to echo what you said, Ms. Frida, we do. We have a ton of great kids doing a ton of great things in our district, supported by great teachers and great leadership in the building level. And we have a lot to feel blessed about. Lemonade stand, don't forget that. That's coming up. Thank you.
Okay, I guess, is there anything else? I guess we're ready to adjourn, and I know, who wants to make a motion for
I
adjourn?
so move.
Mr. Cordell makes a motion to adjourn. Have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Ms. Yens.